All right, you're looking at the wrong number in your budget. Now hear me out. I know that was a little accusatory, but hear me out. So I'm Erin Stetzer. I've been building homes for 25 plus years. I've presented and sat down with people and reviewed thousands of budgets. You open the budget, you go straight down to the bottom and you see a number there and you think, hey, that's my budget. And naturally, that's what people do, right? But us builders need to share with you the most important way to work through the budget analysis. And there are 5 major price drivers that I want to bring up right now so that when you're looking at your budget, you can understand the top 5 things that influence the amount of your budget. So here's the reality. A luxury home build has anywhere from 50 to 100 line items. And what I'm going to share now, it doesn't really matter whether it's a small home, let's just say $250,000 home, average American home, $10 million home. Everything we talk about right now includes you. The number 1 driver, now remember there are 5. The first one is windows and doors. So let's break that down in a really simple way. Let's say the builder that you're working with plugged in a vinyl window package, that's $25,000. Then there's aluminum clad, which is a $75,000 window and door package. And then there's a steel window and door package, and that's $250,000. So again, the budget that was accounted for in the beginning and everybody loved was $25,000 for windows and doors, but we really loved the $250,000. That's a big delta. That's a $200,000 delta right there. So we need to be really aware of what we're starting with, what we actually like, what we're comfortable with spending, and then we plug in that budget. So upfront, it's really important to work through your window and door package. So the second big one is cabinetry and trim. So let's break down cabinetry in 3 different categories, just like we did with windows and doors. Simple first category is trim carpenter is on site and the wood is delivered and all of the tools are here. The trim carpenters start building cabinets right here. Materials delivered, they start building cabinets and the house is built out, right? They also install standard trim, baseboards, crown molding, paneling. These are all standard things. That's price number 1. Let's just call that $100,000. The second one is there's a workshop the trim carpenter has. So like they don't build on site, they actually do all of the building in the workshop. Trim carpenter is custom milling trim moldings, custom milling baseboards, custom milling paneling. They have all these knives they work with, and they're building cabinetry with machinery and equipment that is very precise. It's an air-conditioned space, it's environmentally controlled, it's efficient, and so that's a different level of value. 1 with precision, and 2 the cost, because millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment equals more precision and better cabinets. So that's option 2. We'll call that $200,000. Option 3 is something like Christopher Peacock or Habersham. And these are manufactured somewhere in another state. Everything made in that shop is finished, right, with a certain stain or a certain paint finish, or sometimes they actually come on site. But the key there is it's a really, really high level cabinetry manufactured facility. Let's just call that $300,000. That's a cost difference of $200,000, the $100,000 option and the $300,000 option. So again, let's just remember, $200,000 can add up pretty quickly in a budget. So the third big ticket item would be flooring. Now, when we think about flooring, we think about either tile, as the industry would call it, and we'll talk about that, or maybe hardwoods. Those are the 2 majors in the industry. And when we think about tile, there are tiers of costs. So for example, a piece of tile could be a ceramic piece of tile. It could be a porcelain piece of tile. It could be a marble or a stone piece of tile. Tier 1 cost is the ceramic. Tier 2 would be porcelain. Tier 3 could be marble. $5, $10, $50, something like that. Not only is there the material cost, there's the installation cost. So some tiles need to be pre-sealed on all sides if it's a marble. Some tiles are large format or perhaps even slab size, which requires a lot more people to install and perfect glass-like precision. That's what we're talking about when it comes to tiers of material and tiers of installation. Within flooring, there are also hardwood floors. So the first tier is the simplest. It's pre-made, it's engineered, it's pre-finished. When it's delivered on site, it's ready to rock and roll and people can install right away. A little bit of glue, throw the floors down, good to go. Not much leveling, right? It's a deliver and go situation. Tier 2 is, it could be a true hardwood floor, or it could be an engineered hardwood, which means it's basically plywood layered with a finish top. And in that finish top, the best scenario is a 6mm wear layer. That means you can finish the wood 5-6 times. So the wear layer is important. If it's a 3mm wear layer, maybe you finish it 2 or 3 times. So again, but this is all in this tier 2 category. So the wood's delivered, you still sand and finish, whether it's a true hardwood floor or if it's an engineered wood floor. Now within those categories, you can have size of planks. The wider the plank, the more prep below. The thinner the plank, the easier to install. And when you get to the finish coat, it could either be a polyurethane finish coat, it could be a wax finish coat, or it could be an oil finish coat, right? So this is all in tier 2. Now tier 3, we get into exotic woods, specialty patterns, hand tools, scraping, literally scraping every single board, and one board alone could have 50 scrapes in it, one board. When it comes to the 3rd tier, this is very, very, very time consuming, muscle consuming, sweat consuming. You get the idea. Like, also, remember, people love brass inlays. We've done family crests in the floor. If you're in tier 3, you name it, you can make it happen in hardwoods. And there's a cost. It's up here. All right, here's the 4th one. Wall finishes. So in wall finishes, let's just talk about the big categories. There's paint, plaster, wallpaper, paneling. We'll keep it to those 4. Okay, so let's talk about paint. And I'm going to reverse it on you here. I'm going to talk about the cream of the crop paint finishes. Putting our hands and sliding it down some casing on a door, it feels like glass. Like, just imagine that. It just feels like glass. Really smooth. You just want to hug it. In order to get that finish, it's 21 steps. 21 steps to get to that finish, right? And we can talk about all the details. There's caulking and wood filling and sanding and vacuuming and priming and the first coat and blah, 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 blah. We get to 21 steps. Now, there's a budget that goes with that. And you can imagine that's a budget that is completely aligned with the finished product and the amount of prep and labor that goes into it. The tier below that, which is directly related to how much time do we have to build this home. And so you just minus out the steps and you're at tier 2, right? And then tier 1 is, whoa, we need to really speed this, construction project. We have a certain time frame. The expectations are set. These are the expectations. Now we hit a few steps and we're done. So just remember, the money you spend in paint, probably 75% of that is on the labor. And it could take 4 to 6 months to paint a house. Tier 1, it may take 4 weeks. Let's talk about plaster. Plaster can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the cost of paint, right? So imagine we're looking at a wall and that wall costs maybe $400 to paint. When we move to a plaster finish, it's a totally different look. It could be a diamond plaster, or it could be a Venetian plaster. Whatever version of plaster, it takes an artisan to actually do this work. So it's a lot of hand working. You really have to work the wall to get the finish. So that again is way more time, and the specialty person costs more. So let's just say a $400 wall of paint, that could be a $4,000 wall of plaster. So again, just because it looks simple, right? We're changing from paint to plaster. It's great that it looks simple, but the labor is a major cost difference. Okay, I'm gonna flip it on you now, right? We're gonna talk about wallpaper. So the cost driver and wallpaper is actually in the material. So when we work with designer brands like Gucci or Ralph Lauren, it's the purchasing of this material, this wallpaper, wall covering, that holds the value and cost on the wall, right? The installation, of course, you need great installers, but again, this one's pretty short and easy. Cost is in the material. Okay, so let's talk about paneling on walls. Let's just say you have a study and you have wood paneling on all 4 walls, or you have a primary bathroom and you have marble slabs on the walls. Normally, in a basic build, it would be paint. But when we go to wood paneling, we just went from $1,000 to $50,000 of material and labor. When we go from paint to marble slab walls, we're at $150,000. So you can see that price driver includes material and labor, and it's 5 and 10 times the cost, 100 times the cost in some cases. Our fifth category is roofing. And there are 3 tiers of roofing, just to keep it simple. The first tier is composition shingle. So it's an asphalt shingle, and a lot of homes have asphalt shingles on their homes if you just drive around neighborhoods. That's the majority of what we see. Let's just call a 5,000 square foot home, that's $25,000. Now, if you want to inch up a little bit in that composition shingle category, there are architectural shingles that will inch you up a little bit, but lean more into a sort of slate look. So that's tier 1, composition shingles. Tier 2 could be a metal roof. It could be a Kynar pre-finished metal roof, standing seam roof, and that will just cost, let's say, $50,000. So we've just now doubled our price in tier 2. Now, tier 3, we get into the clay tiles, we get into the slates, and the slates could be from Vermont, and they could have different sizes. And of course, we use copper nails, and we have certain flashing that now has to be copper. And you can see the trickle effect of not just the material that you're picking out, the slate or the clay, we're getting into flashing, copper, drip edge, copper gutters, because we can't mix different types of metal. So in that third category, we've at least tripled our price, maybe even more. So remember, when you're looking at your budget, realize there's a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3, and the magnitude of cost, we could go from $25,000 to $400,000. So here's the bottom line. When you're looking at your budget, you really need to be true to what you want. And by discovering these different tiers in each of these items, you can then make decisions that align with the finished look you want. When you look at your budget, remember, pick the top 5 price drivers. Like, look at your budget and say, ooh, these are the top 5 price drivers. It's windows and doors, it's cabinetry, it's flooring, it's wall finishes, and it's roofing. Just try those. Work through it. What's the most important to you? Plug the pieces in, add your numbers up. There's your budget. All right, so you can tell we care a lot about the people we work with. We care about you. We want people to be informed so they can make decisions, or you can make decisions that are best for you. So if you find this interesting at all, come join us, follow along. We have a ton to share with you because I tend to talk a lot. So see ya.